Hey guys, and welcome to a brand new video here on FPL Now. Today we're going to be talking about my final team selection for Double Gameweek 27, captaincy choice, any transfers that I'm thinking of making, the whole shebang. So if you're excited for the video, drop a like down below, leave a comment, what are you doing for Double Gameweek 27, subscribe if you're brand new, and let's get into the video. So, starting things off, in goal we do have Raya, who's got Everton away and Southampton away. It's a double game week. It's not a single game week like Kepa. Kepa does have Leicester away. I feel like they probably will keep a clean sheet in that game, but, you know, Leicester could surprise us. But yeah, Raya with 2 away games, but at the same time, a lot of save points there, and also Brentford, apart from the Fulham game, they do look very, very good at the back. So hopefully we can get a clean sheet or 2 in those games. Maybe a cheeky penalty save to make my life a little bit better. But yeah, Raya in goal is just a no-brainer this week. The back line, we've got Henry, who's also got Everton away and Southampton away. So yeah, really need some Brentford clean sheets this double game week. We've got Trippier, who's got Wolves at home. And again, if you're thinking of benching Trippier this week, just don't do it. He's just created the most chances, like pretty much out of every single defender, especially since the restart as well. So you kind of need him in your team. He's got Wolves at home. They do need a result as well because there's not been too great lately. So yeah, Wolves at home I think is a really good fixture for them. You got to play him this week. Just do not bench Trippier unless you're playing your bench boost. Obviously it's fine, but if you're not, don't bench Trippier, trust me. I think he's going to haul this week. And then also we've got Estepinian as well, who's got Leeds away and Crystal Palace at home. I'm a little bit worried about the whole weather conditions for like Leeds away. A lot of people are worrying like maybe it's going to get called off and stuff. Hopefully it doesn't, because if it does, then it would have just ruined my like wild card completely, because this is the week where I wild carded to try and make a lot of ground on people and stuff. But yeah, hopefully it should be fine. The weather forecast looks okay. But that's another reason that I'm kind of not going to captain a Brighton player this week, just because there is that small doubt. I don't want to lose a fixture and then have like another double game week player just popping off, and you know I've lost out because of the bloody weather. But either way, that is the back line and the goalkeeper. Really happy about it. Very, very strong. 3 double game week players, and then the single game week player is Trippier, who's got Wolves at home. So yeah, hopefully we do get some points in that back line this week. In midfield, we do have March, who's got Leeds away and Crystal Palace at home. Rashford, who's got Southampton at home, who of course did score again last night in the United game. A really good goal as well. Honestly, it's ridiculous form. Like, definitely a captaincy option this week for sure. I mean, there's so many this week, it's actually a bit ridiculous. It's a bit unfortunate that all of these really good captaincy options have fell on the same game week, because yeah, it's honestly like insane. And then we've also got Mitoma, who's got Leeds away and Crystal Palace at home. And then Saka, who's got Fulham away. Another good captaincy shout. Like, any of those midfielders are captaincy shouts this week, which is really like annoying, because there's not just one standout pick, and there really isn't this week. There literally is no standout pick. With the Brighton midfielders like McAllister, March, and Mitoma, they've all got like a very good chance of scoring and returning and stuff. So it is literally, there's no right or wrong answer. Obviously McAllister has penalties, so you've got that going for him. But then Mitoma, you know, he seems to be, I don't know, he's much, I don't know, he's like more fun to watch, I guess. I don't know, but either way, there's nothing really between them apart from potentially penalties. But that's if McAllister stays in that number 10 role for both games, which he probably will, but there's always that kind of doubt there, because obviously when he doesn't play in that role, he plays a lot deeper. Still has penalties, but obviously very unlikely to get in the box and everything. Anyway, that's the midfield. Up top, we've got Tony, who's got Everton away and Southampton away, Kane, who's got Forest at home, and then Crystal Palace away for Haaland. And then the bench is Kepa, who's got Leicester away, Ødegaard, who's got Fulham away, Zinchenko, who's got Fulham away, and then Botman, who's got Wolves at home. So it's obviously been made clear that Ødegaard was ill, which is why he missed the Arsenal game last night. So I think that is probably the final kind of straw for me not bench boosting this week. I don't want there to be any kind of doubt. I was a little bit umming and ahhing about bench boosting this week anyway, but now that Ødegaard potentially could be a miss for the Fulham game, he should be fine. But at the same time, there's always that doubt. You know, I'm not going to do it. Like, it's just one of those things. So yeah, I think I'm just going to, hopefully he should be fine for game week 28, obviously. So don't worry about that. I don't think start thinking about selling him and stuff. But yeah, Ødegaard, Fulham away, you know, it would be a fixture that I would want him in. But I'm kind of confident that Fulham score in that game anyway. I think Botman will keep a clean sheet. Leicester away for Kepa, I mean, that's give or take. That could easily be a clean sheet. They could easily score. Maddison could bang in a free kick. You don't know. So yeah, that's why I'm just going to bench boost 29. I know it's a while away, it's like the international break and stuff. But at the same time, I think just the way my season's going, I think I just need to try and get as many games as possible out of my team. But yeah, I've gone Tony captaincy just simply because when Brentford score, He's usually involved. He is on penalties. I think he's in like 51% of Brentford's goal involvements. I know they scored 3 against Fulham and he only scored a penalty, but you know, he could have scored a couple more in that game. He did have that shot on the halfway line or whatever, and then he also had that shot in the first couple of minutes, which obviously was saved by Leno. So yeah, I think that, you know, it's probably better to go Tony this week, just because there's that doubt with the Brighton game as well, potentially being called off for Leeds away. It just kind of adds some doubt into the mix. So I think Tony, as much as he has upset me this season with his like 1-pointers, getting yellow cards and stuff, you know, if he got a yellow card in the last game, there'd be no way I'd be captaining him this week at all. Because even if he gets a yellow card in the Everton away game, he still gets to play the Southampton game unless he gets a red card. So fingers crossed that doesn't happen. Obviously, Kane is a really good captaincy option. I think he's going to haul this week. We are terrible away from home. Although that being said, Spurs are kind of trash at the moment as well. Like, I'm sorry for all Spurs fans watching it, but I think we can all agree they're not doing too well. They didn't score, obviously, and got knocked out of the Champions League. They just don't look at the moment. Obviously, Richarlison's interview, like, basically saying the season was, like, terrible. You got Conte saying he's basically going to leave. You got players wanting Poch back. Like, it's just all going wrong at Spurs right now. And it's just, I don't know. I feel like if we were ever going to play them, it would be this fixture. Obviously, we beat him in the Carabao Cup, but that was at the City Ground. When they came to the City Ground, though, in the league, they did beat us, I think, 2-0 or something. So, yeah, we do need our revenge. Hopefully, we can get something from that game. But, yeah, I feel like Kane is still going to bag in that game because, like I say, we're just terrible away from home. And then Haaland, Crystal Palace away. I think he got a brace in the reverse fixture. Obviously, Saka's a really good captaincy option. Rashford, a captaincy option. If you've got Salah, he's a good captaincy option. Then you've got Tony, March, McAllister, Matoma. There are so many good captaincy options this week. It's actually a bit ridiculous. So, yeah, those are all of the options. This is how my team's shaping up, though. Matoma's my vice captain. Tony is my main captain. And I think this should be how I go into Double Game Week 27 without having to make any transfers. Let's quickly talk about transfers, though, just because obviously I've got 3.9 mil in the bank. Next week I will be getting rid of Haaland, which, again, I feel weird doing. I do feel weird doing that. But I will be bringing in Watkins, barring any kind of injuries or anything like that. And it'll give me 8.4 mil in the bank as well, which is just, I feel like it's so weird seeing that much money in the bank. But I guess I've only got one premium, which is Kane. So yeah, obviously Watkins in for Haaland in game week 28 in the blank. Because obviously I can't be having 5 blankers. Yeah, that means that I will only be playing 10 playing players. This is the reason that like going Sanchez and Kepa was probably better than Raya and Kepa, just simply because I would have been able to play like a different Brentford defender instead of Estepinian, which would have allowed me to field 11 players. But on the other side of that, like, now there's a massive problem with Sanchez and obviously Steele. You don't know really who's going to be the number 1, and so yeah, it is unfortunate because I would have played Kepa in game week 28 anyway, so it wouldn't have mattered. Like, I would have benched Sanchez, but yeah, it's just a bit unfortunate that did happen for everyone that did take that route, and I was so close to doing that as well. But I just decided to switch it just because I thought the upside of Raya and Estepinian would have been higher than Sanchez and like Pinnock, but then Pinnock went and scored in the last game, so what do I know? But yeah, Sanchez being benched obviously wasn't great for those owners, so we'll have to see what happens there. But yeah, in game week 28 it will be Watkins in for Haaland, and then obviously game week 29 I'm going to have 2 free transfers, just because I'm rolling one this week. So that'll be the week that I probably do get rid of Ødegaard and bring in again Fernandes. It could really be anyone, but if I do want to bring Haaland back in, it kind of has to be this. I mean, they don't have the greatest double, to be fair. They've got Newcastle away and Brentford at home, which isn't great. But then after that, United's fixtures are actually really, really nice. They've got yeah, Everton, Forest, Chelsea at home, and then Spurs away, which I think they'll easily win. Then Villa, West Ham, Wolves, Bournemouth, Fulham, and then obviously the Brighton game to be rearranged. And again, if they do double again with Brighton, that'll be really nice because I'll have like a multiple selection of United and Brighton players. And then with Zinchenko, it's probably going to be someone that I also get rid of. I'll be getting rid of them with this Leeds away game, which isn't great because they will be keeping clean sheets and stuff. So I'd only get rid of them for like double game week players. I'm not sure whether I bring in Luke Shaw this week though, just simply because Newcastle away and Brentford at home. Do they keep a clean sheet in any of those games? I'm not sure. They did actually obviously beat Carabao in the Carabao Cup Newcastle very comfortably, but this time obviously it is at Newcastle, so we'll have to see how that game goes. But yeah, I'd obviously have an extra free transfer in 29 to bring in a different player. I've got 10.6 million in the bank. Obviously I can't spend all of that just simply because I want to upgrade back to Haaland, probably Tony in game week 30 when he does play Newcastle. So yeah, I'll have to have a think. It could be Luke Shaw. And then obviously I've got him for the double, and then if we get doubles announced for United like later on down the line, then obviously I'll do that, and I'll have triple United and triple Brighton for that double up. But then I've got 5.4 million in the bank, and then yeah, game week 30 I'll just get rid of Tony for Haaland. Again, I'm gonna be a little bit worried about that Liverpool game for Haaland, just simply because you could easily bang against Liverpool. But, you know, if Liverpool, if that 7-0 game was anything to go by, then they are playing a little bit better. Of course, it was just one game. They could easily go and lose now to Bournemouth. I mean, that would just be Liverpool all over. Yeah, Haaland with Liverpool is going to be a tough one. But either way, that is how my Game Week 27 and transfer targets are kind of moving up. Of course, I will be bench boosting in 29 as well. So yeah, we'll have to see what happens. But yeah, pretty confident. Of course, injuries could make this go completely wrong and completely different, and I might have to adapt the team. But as of right now, that's the plan up until Game Week 30. All my transfers sorted, everything like that. So yeah, we're just following the game plan. Hopefully things go well. Of course, it could go wrong. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, drop a like, leave a comment. What are you doing with your Double Gameweek 27 team? Subscribe if you're brand new. Until next time, have a good one, and peace.